I have been playing Castlevania Circle of the Moon
Mm.
for the Game Boy Advance for the Switch for the Game Boy Advance. It's
Whoa.
the Castlevania GBA collection.
Nice.
This game launched for the GBA. I believe it was a launch title. And I've already said before I didn't really get a chance to play the GBA Castlevania games. When you guys were doing the GBA month, it was like the perfect time. Plus, I had just bought it when it was on sale. Um, so this game starts off with Dracula coming back again. Go figure. Right as it happens,
What?
you and your homie is conveniently rolling up on it, and your mentor wants to put the evil genie back into his bottle, but Dracula kidnaps him, and you fall through the floor to the bottom of the castle. You play as Nathan. He's kind of a hardcore whip carrying bastard, and you're trying to save your mentor, who has been basically Princess Peached. Also, your mentor's son is with you, but his emo ass just keeps going on his own, trying to show Daddy he isn't a failure. Uh, the story is very Castlevania. You pretty much know what the deal is. Occasionally, you'll run back into Hugh, who is the mentor's son. But he has a chip on his shoulder. Every time you run into him, he's just kind of like, "No, let me do it," and fucking runs away. Um, this is one of the Metroidvania style games. There's backtracking, portals. You have, you gain abilities to access certain areas. You level up your character. I will say I played through Aria of Sorrow for Turbo Zone last year, and this one I do think is a little harder. Right away, I noticed I was having a hard time jumping and attacking at the right times in the air. It got a little better after I gained the run ability and the double jump, but early on it was giving me trouble. I felt like the movement was clunky, but maybe it was just me. So far, graphically, I think the graphics are passable. Maybe it's just because I played Aria first, but the levels kind of look bland. It's like typical underground sewer, catacomb towers. The battle arena where I'm at now was pretty cool, but it's hard as fuck. Mm, there, you gain equipment like armor and rings that you pick up to boost your stats. I haven't really seen many different types of items. You usually just pick up the same equipment a bunch of different times. I believe it's just random drops. Right now, I think I have like 25 leather armors. One of the things I wish was in the game was the ability to sell your equipment in a shop. There was no shop in this game. It would have made more sense why you get so many of the same items. This game also has a card system, which is probably the heard that thunder. The
I'm
card
gonna
system is
die.
probably the best thing about it. Um, you basically you collect these cards that sometimes drop from different monsters, and you can mix and match to create different magic loadouts. It's I believe in total I think there's like 100 different variations. Certain enemies drop specific cards. It's just finding out who drops what to kind of experiment with what the cards and abilities can do. I guess there's probably lists online that'll tell you who you need to kill to get certain cards. I haven't looked up the list, but right now I only have like 5 cards. I've been using either the flaming whip or like the flaming sword so far. I know there's like magic you get later for summons that should be pretty useful. I have a little over halfway through the map unlocked so far. I'm about 5 hours in it. The level layout is pretty good, but some areas kind of feel like they're only there to make the game longer or something. Like you go through a hallway and there's nothing but enemies there, and it's just a straight direction, and it feels like it's never going to end. Kind of feels like it was just there for fluff, or maybe it was good for grinding. There's a lot of times where I've been grinding so far. There was a part where I couldn't, whenever I fought this boss, I just kept felt like I was doing no damage at all. So I ended up grinding for probably about an hour just so I could beat him. Um, I don't think there's anything special or different with the Switch version of the game. There's a notification thing that pops up every time you get a card, but it was kind of annoying, so I turned that feature off. Other than that, you get like the save your game or change your screen size and stuff like that they normally have in collections. Actually, I take it back. There is an encyclopedia in the Switch version that does tell you what enemies drop. So if you have the Switch version, you'd be able to look it up. You wouldn't have to look up an enemy guide. Overall, I'm enjoying Castlevania. Right now, I wouldn't say I like it more than Symphony of the Night or Aria of Sorrow at that. But I like it enough, and I'm going to finish it. And then I can finally move on to Harmony and finish off all the GBA games.
This is your second game talk with us, right?
Yes, I think so.
Do you realize that on that one, on the first one, you also did a Metroidvania style game?
Yeah, for Metroid, yeah.
Ah, are you a big Metroidvania guy?
I dabbled in them when I was younger, but I never beat any until we did the Metroid one, Metroid Fusion, I think.
Didn't you do? Holy shit!
Oh,
sorry, I'm trying to keep myself muted until I talk because the thunder is crazy right now. Yeah, you did like the Mummy Demastered, right?
Yeah.
Do you prefer? Real quick, do you prefer Metroidvania, Castlevania, or do you prefer side scroller?
The Metroidvania. I prefer the Metroidvanias. I've tried to go back and play some of the older Castlevanias and just kind of fall off.
Thank you for saying that. I agree. I think they're crap.
I mean, you're wrong, but
those are your words. Those are Spencer's words.
Yeah. Well, Alex,
you realized that this is your second game talk, and you did like a perfect game capitulation.
It's a good word.
Yeah,
it's like catapult, but like capitulate.
Do you realize
capitulated?
Do you realize I don't know what capitulate means?
Yeah, he's throwing out them heavy words.
One weighs a lot.
I'm gonna capitulate.
Capitulating.
Oh, is that what I thought?
That's what I did when the twin snake-headed boss in Circle of the Moon appeared, because holy shit, them bosses are hard. I did not grind for them. You know which one I'm talking about?
The twin snake?
Double dragon thing?
Oh, no. I don't. Yeah. No, I haven't got to him.
Oh. Fuck.
Yeah, just
that's the bosses suck, man.
The one I just beat was the giant goat. I think was the last boss that I finished. He's like stuck in something and he's like shooting orbs and shit at you and skeletons.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one I had to grind.
Yeah. I played this on Wii U of all things, and I think I made it 5 hours in, so you probably took this boss on. But yeah, I did not grind for bosses. I don't know, like, how did you feel about grinding in a Castlevania game compared to maybe something like a traditional RPG?
It's all right. I didn't mind it in this one because like the area where the save point was pretty much just filled with things that I could kill pretty easily. So, I know one thing: those fucking flying swords were a pain in the ass trying to take those damn things.
They hover and like kind of sink and stuff.
Yeah, and they just keep floating around, and then they can float under the ground and stuff like that, so you can't hit them.
Funky ass swords.
Yeah, those bitch ass swords. But yeah, the goat was the last boss that I've gotten to, or the last boss I remember beating.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you made cheese out of him.
After a while.
Cheese.
Cheese, man.
The throwback.
Classic.
Axel.
Mommy Axel.
Mommy.
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 Hey, would you please pass the goat cheese?
Isn't there a boss of Majora's Mask named Goat?
Yeah, he's the goat.
Yeah. Always cracks me up.
I think I used capitulation right.
What is the definition of capitulation?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you one way
How
or
do
the
you
other.
spell it?
Starts with a K.
Like recapitulate, you know.
Starts
Yeah,
with a
but
Q.
the way they define it is surrender. Does it make sense? I didn't think it meant that. Did not
That's
do a
not-
perfect surrender,
Tell my enemies.
He surrendered the
Capitulate.
information.
I suppose. Put him in a position where he had to submit information. Surrender it now! Circle of the Moon, what is this? Is this game you talk of?
Capitulate.
Capitulate now!
Axel is being oddly difficult with us. He refused to tell us his game for game talk, but we forced him to capitulate.
He had to look it up before he finally surrendered.
Axel, please capitulate all over me.
Mommy.
Mommy Axel, capitulate all over me.
Me, please capitulate.
I think your definition of capitulate is different.
It can mean different things to different people. It's a regional thing.
That could be the weirdest thing I had ever said on the show. Who's in it? Spencer? Spencer, put up a banner. Yeah, weirdest thing Alex ever said on the show banner.
You got it.
We're never using that again.
Useful banner.
Making Spencer make assets for one joke.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.